All of us know that feeling of guilt, shame, regret. That is a come down. That is a hangover. But see, far too many of us, we take it for granted. We know that what goes up must come down. So we take this as a thing that's normal, something just to be ignored and to get over. But you see, that come down, that hangover, it's so fucking important. It's so special. That is a message from God, a message from the universe telling you what direction you need to go in your life. See, what's happening when you get that regret, those negative feelings inside, that little tiny thought thinking, I could be doing better. That's God calling you up. He said, you're done with this way of life. You need to be more. You veered off the path for too long, and now you're going somewhere that you don't want to go. So this is a warning. At the start, it's just a tiny little warning. That's why it's so easy to look over, especially when you're young, especially when you haven't been doing it for very long, especially when you don't really know where you're going exactly in life, which most of us don't. It's just a small, tiny little feeling. The calm down is manageable. The hangover, it's just a bit of fatigue, a bit of tiredness. That little quiet thought that maybe you're worth more than that fucking drink. But we pay no heed to it. We don't pay attention to it because it's quiet. And also we're in a comfortable routine. We like going out partying, or at least we think we do. Because we're running from our feelings. We're running from our pain. It makes us feel good. But see, through time this builds and builds and builds. And that is why it gets worse and worse and worse. That is why that feeling gets stronger and stronger and stronger. See, this is one of the things I don't like about religion these days. It makes it seem like only these certain special people can talk to God, only these prophets. But God doesn't really speak to people anymore like he used to. But the universe, God, whatever you believe, it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, atheist. If you have any sort of brain, you'll know there's something out there, a higher intelligence that's speaking to us, changing the world every single day, helping the leaves fall at the right time, the grass to fucking grow. And that source is speaking to you every single day. You don't need to be fucking special. You don't need to be Muhammad to hear this call. See, regret is your fucking guideline. God speaks to us in so many ways. We get so many signs, but the biggest tool he uses to guide your life is regret. See, the things you regret are things you need to remove. It's so fucking obvious. I mean, most people these days be like, no regrets, man. I got no regrets. Everybody regrets things. Everybody. You might not regret something that happened years ago. You might look back at it and think, well, you know what, that was okay. Because a lot of the times those big things that hurt us in the past, they help us to develop. And therefore we don't wish them to change because they helped us to become who we are. But you feel regret. You feel regret when you wake up that next morning after a fucking horrible night out. You're just poisoning yourself, doing tons of fucking alcohol, maybe doing drugs. You feel that regret. What the fuck do you think that is? You think that's just happens? That's just normal to feel bad? No, your body, the world is fucking guiding you, saying, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're going down a horrible, dark, dark path that you don't want to go. It's time that we start listening to our fucking feelings. We need to start listening to that regret, which is guiding us to where we want to go. See, your wishes, your dreams, your prayers, they will never, ever, ever come packaged how you want it to. It's the same with manifestation and all this. You think when you ask for something, when you manifest it, you think it's just going to appear on your fucking doorstep. Someone's going to knock on that door and he's going to have a box with all your dreams and he's going to give it to you. Of course not. Life is not that easy. Life is simple, but it is not fucking easy. No. When we ask for these things, when we beg it, in thought and voice, whatever, that thing, it starts to come towards us. It starts to become attracted to us. But it's not a fucking straight line from A to B. There's lots of detours, lots of challenges. We're given test after test. We're given challenge after challenge. That is why you feel that regret. Because you're asking to be a millionaire, to be jacked, to be ripped, to be successful. And the stuff that you're regretting is the hurdles in your way. These vices. See, these vices are just holding you back. Whether you want to believe it or not, people like to think that these vices are not fun. People will call vices escapism fun. They'll punish themselves and call it fun, but you're running from what you truly want. I mean, everybody knows this. It's instant gratification versus delayed gratification. But it's so hard to actually see what you're doing when you're not listening to that voice inside. See, your conscience is the authentic voice of God guiding you to what you truly want, what you truly need in life. But we like to ignore it. We say, fuck it, let's get high instead. Let's get drunk for now instead. Because of the way we've grown up. People my age, we've grown up with all this technology, all this phone, all this instant gratification. So we're used to it. We expect things to just become to us. We expect things to just be handed to us. We don't expect that we need to drop bullshit. We need to drop vices to get what we want. We don't expect that we have to go through hurdles and trials and tribulations to get what we want. I'm not just some guy who read about this online. I know this from experience. See, I was a drug addict. I started off like everyone, going out partying, drinking on the weekend. Eventually it developed, I was doing drugs on the weekend. I started just smoking weed. That developed into hard drugs. And eventually I was getting high in some form every single fucking day. Every single day. And as I said, it started off quiet. Those signs that I should stop. Started off with like a mild depression that just built and built and built. And I thought, oh fuck, this is getting worse. I need to run. I need to escape more. Of course, that just multiplied the pain and multiplied the depression. And I got worse. I felt so bad. I started getting stomach pains all over my abdomen. Horrible pains throughout the day. I felt like I was just destroying my organs. And of course, I had that regret. Those hangovers, those come downs. Tell me, fuck, I can't do this anymore. It used to make me feel so horrible after a night out. In fact, I wouldn't even have to wait to wake up the next morning to feel that come down, that hangover. You know, every single fucking night out, I went home horrible, just feeling utterly depressed, just feeling broken inside. My heart full of pain, full of regret, which I didn't realize what it was telling me at the time. Eventually, through watching videos like these, I started realizing the problem that I had. And I remember the first time I went out on a night out sober. Now, it was a horrible night. It was just like a shit night. It was boring. These guys were just drunk and I was just sitting there. It's like, oh, this is boring. I wanted to go home, but going home was so fucking magical. See, because the first time, and as long as I could fucking basically remember, I went home feeling good. I felt happy. Oh my fucking God, I was smiling. I didn't feel horrible for once. And I fucking loved it. See, this is why I've created this channel. This is why I'm creating a course. Check out the link in the description if you're interested. I've dedicated my life to trying to help people remove themselves from this horrible path, this path of vices, this path of partying. Too long. Media, social media, all that crap. Movies have manipulated this escapism and they're making it look fun, but it's not. It's just pain disguised. And when you fucking run from pain, you multiply it. And knocking just gets worse and worse and worse. I mean, this is probably why suicide is such a massive thing nowadays, because that small regret, that small guide inside us starts off very quiet and we don't listen. And it gets worse and worse till it's a full, horrible depression state. And again, we refuse to listen. It gets worse and worse. And people then, boom, they can't handle it anymore. They take their own life. You need to start using these regrets to get forward in life. It's the only way. Look around you. This is why all these average people are average because throughout their life, they didn't listen to that call. They just ignored it. They just went through the day-to-day routine because they didn't have the knowledge, they didn't have the wisdom that was gained through chemo, it was gained through suffering. Because not many people have gone through an all-out addiction like I have. Most people power, they do a little bit. So the voice stays quiet. I'm so glad I went all out because then God went all out in trying to help me, trying to save me. If you start looking at the regrets as a tool, you'll change your life. Start using a positive mental attitude to look at these so-called negative feelings within you. It'll change your life. Imagine you just got rid of everything you regret. Every time you said, fuck, I don't feel good now. I regret doing that. Every time you did that, you removed the thing that made you feel like that, whether it's sugar, porn, drink, drugs. Maybe you just stayed up all night scrolling. Imagine what kind of man you would be if you had none of that in your fucking life. See, this is the new way forward. To have no vices, nothing holding you back. This is why there's so many people these days, young people, get way ahead in life because they're dropping vices. They're dropping the things that are holding us back. And sure, there's some people that may get a few good things while their life being full of vices, like a nice wife, maybe a family, some money. But their time will come. They still feel that fucking knocking on their chest telling them they can be more. And the louder it gets, the worse it gets. And then they may lose everything they have because they wouldn't fucking listen. You need to start listening. In my course, I'm going to help you to learn to listen to that voice, to learn to use these regrets, these come downs, these relapses, fucking judgment to change your life. I haven't fully finished this course yet. I'm doing a pre-sale, but it's half the price right now. So if you join now, look in the price. Best way to learn is through someone else's mistakes. Now, there's no pressure. You don't have to get my course. I did it without any fucking course. I did it without buying a course. I just watched YouTube videos. I watched influencers and they changed my mind. These guys on self-improvement. See, when you're watching this stuff, it will change your brain. Whether it's a course, YouTube, whether it's in person. Preferably, if you can be around people who are changing their lives in person, great. But we don't realistically, we don't even need anyone else. As I said, God talks to us, God guides us inside. We all have that connection to the higher power. We all know what we should be doing deep down. It's time to start listening. It's time to start growing, all right?